The world waited, and now the silence is breaking. Whispers from the set, leaks from insiders, and a few official clues, all pointing to something massive. Season 6 of The Chosen isn't just another chapter. It's the turning point that could change everything we've seen so far. What's real? What's rumor? And when can fans finally see it unfold? Let's uncover the truth, one clue at a time. When The Chosen first began, no one expected it to become one of the most beloved and emotional shows ever made about the life of Jesus. What started as a small, crowd-funded project has now grown into a worldwide movement, a series that millions of people connect with, cry over, and feel inspired by. Season after season, The Chosen has shown us Jesus not as a distant figure, but as someone deeply human, kind, strong, and filled with compassion. It's told through the eyes of those who followed him: fishermen, tax collectors, outcasts, each of them broken in their own way, but drawn together by his message. In Season 5, everything changed. The tone grew darker, the stakes higher. We saw moments of deep faith and deep pain. The disciples faced fear, betrayal, and loss. The world around them grew tense as Rome's control tightened and the rumors of rebellion spread like wildfire. Each episode pushed the story closer to the moment fans have both dreaded and waited for: the Passion itself. There were moments that broke hearts: Peter's doubt, Matthew's quiet transformation, Mary's strength, and the look in Jesus' eyes when he knew what was coming. The show has never been afraid to show both miracles and the cost of those miracles. And that's exactly what made Season 5 feel like the calm before a storm, the final stretch before history turns forever. As fans watched that last episode fade to black, one question echoed everywhere: what's next? What will Season 6 bring? Will we finally see the events leading to the crucifixion? Or will the creators take us deeper into the moments before, the emotional, human side of what's about to come? That's where things get interesting, because the clues we have, both official and leaked, suggest that Season 6 will be unlike any before it. The tone, the setting, even the storytelling may take a turn that surprises everyone. But before we dive into what's been revealed, the filming updates, leaks, and possible release date, let's take a closer look at how The Chosen got here, and why this next chapter might be the most emotional yet. Something strange happened after The Chosen Season 5 ended. The cameras went quiet. The cast disappeared from social media for weeks. And then one day, a few photos started to appear. Desert landscapes, ancient-style sets being rebuilt, a familiar robe hanging on a rack. That's when fans knew Season 6 was officially in motion. According to production insiders, filming began earlier this year in the breathtaking hills of Utah, with additional scenes shot in Texas and parts of the Middle East. The goal? To capture the raw beauty and tension of the final days leading to the Passion. Every rock, every street, every shadow on those sets is built to feel real, as if viewers were walking through history itself. But this season isn't just about grand locations. It's about emotion. Director Dallas Jenkins has said in interviews that Season 6 will be the most difficult to film and the most powerful to watch. He described long nights on set, moments where the entire crew stood in silence after filming emotional scenes, and the weight everyone felt bringing these sacred moments to life. Behind the scenes, the cast prepared in a new way. Reports say that Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus, spent time in prayer and silence before some of his most intense scenes, trying to bring both humanity and heartbreak into every moment. Other cast members hinted that several episodes left them in tears during filming. The production team also made major upgrades this time. They used new camera technology to capture sunlight and shadows more vividly, creating visuals that feel warm and cinematic, almost like a living painting. Even the costumes were redesigned to look more weathered and realistic, reflecting the exhaustion and struggle of the disciples in their final journey with Jesus. Fans might remember how Season 5 felt like the gathering of a storm. Well, Season 6 is that storm, filmed with more intensity, more realism, and more emotion than ever before. There were even whispers that one of the key sets was destroyed and rebuilt mid-production, possibly to recreate the chaos of Jerusalem during its most turbulent days. While the creators haven't confirmed it, insiders say the filming atmosphere felt different this time. Quieter, heavier, more emotional. One thing is certain. The cast and crew know that Season 6 will lead directly into the most defining event in history. And that's why every shot, every tear, every silence matters. As Dallas Jenkins said in a behind-the-scenes clip, "We're not just making a show, we're telling a story that changed the world, and it's about to reach its most painful, yet beautiful, chapter." And that's exactly what makes fans desperate to know what comes next. The leaks, the teasers, and the clues that might reveal how The Chosen will handle one of the most powerful stories ever told. It started with one photo, a blurry image, taken from behind a fence, showing a group of men dressed in robes, their faces shadowed by the sun. Behind them, wooden beams were being lifted, and a Roman banner waved in the background. The internet exploded. Fans claimed it was the first real glimpse of The Chosen Season 6, and that the scene might be one of the most heartbreaking moments in all of Scripture. But was it real? Or just another rumor in the storm of excitement? Over the past few months, leaks and whispers have filled online forums. Some claim that The Chosen crew was seen filming late into the night, capturing emotional scenes that could only belong to the final hours of Jesus' life. Others mention a mysterious Episode 7, rumored to contain a moment that left both cast and crew in tears. Of course, not all of it can be trusted. The creators have been careful. No official plot details have been shared. But if you read between the lines of interviews, small clues start to appear. Dallas Jenkins once said, "This season will break hearts, but it will also remind us why this story still matters today." That single sentence sent fans into theory mode. Some believe Season 6 will begin the road to the cross, showing betrayal, sacrifice, and the growing shadow of Rome. Others think it may dive deeper into the humanity of Jesus and his followers, their fear, their faith, their confusion when the world around them begins to crumble. Another theory making rounds online is that we'll see the story through multiple perspectives this time, not just from the disciples, but from those who once opposed him. Imagine watching the same moment from the eyes of a Roman soldier or a Pharisee, each one struggling to understand who this man truly is. And then there's the question of Judas. Fans are convinced that his storyline will finally take center stage. Subtle leaks suggest that Season 6 may show the weight of his guilt, his fear, and the moment that changes everything. Some insiders say that the scenes involving Judas are among the most emotional ever filmed for the show. Even the music might hold clues. Soundtrack leaks hint at darker, more haunting tones, echoing sorrow and destiny. The series composer reportedly spent months crafting themes that reflect loss, forgiveness, and the quiet strength of faith. Whether these leaks are true or not, one thing is certain: The Chosen is building towards something unforgettable. Every rumor, every whispered theory points to a season that won't just tell a story. It'll leave an imprint on every heart that watches, because this isn't just another chapter. It's the moment when prophecy meets reality, when faith meets fear, and when the light begins to fall into shadow before it rises again. It's only a few seconds long, yet it sent shivers across the entire fandom. The official Chosen Season 6 teaser didn't need explosions or heavy words. It only needed a single look, a slow shot of Jesus walking through a narrow street. Dust rises around his feet, the sound of distant footsteps, and then silence. He stops, looks ahead, and the camera slowly pans to reveal Roman soldiers in the distance. That's it. No dialogue, no title card, just a heartbeat, and a message that says, "It begins." That tiny glimpse broke the internet. Within hours, fans began slowing it down, frame by frame, trying to decode every second. Some noticed a shadow moving behind Jesus. Others thought they saw Peter in the background, watching in fear. But what everyone agreed on was this: the tone had changed. Season 6 isn't about hope and miracles anymore. It's about destiny, about the price of everything that came before. A few days later, another clip surfaced. This time, a quiet conversation between two disciples. One of them whispers, "It's begun, hasn't it?" The other replies softly, "It always had to." The line gave goosebumps, not because of what was said, but because of what it meant. Fans began connecting this to earlier seasons, noticing how The Chosen always plants small clues. A word here, a look there, a pause that feels heavier than the rest. Dallas Jenkins is known for using symbolism, and many believe these short teasers are filled with it. In one still, Jesus is seen standing at the edge of a hill at sunrise. Some fans think it represents the calm before his arrest. Others say it symbolizes his acceptance of what's coming. A moment of surrender, wrapped in peace. Even the lighting tells a story. In previous seasons, light always surrounded Jesus. But in these new shots, the light feels dimmer, colder, as if the world itself knows something tragic is near. The teaser music is equally haunting. A low hum like a heartbeat fading into the distance. It's quiet, too quiet. And then suddenly, the sound of chains. Not loud, but just enough to make your chest tighten. Some fans believe this subtle sound hints at the imprisonment scenes that may appear later in the season. Others think it's symbolic, representing how the world tried to contain what could never truly be contained. His message. There's also a moment, barely a second long, where the camera focuses on the faces of the disciples. Fear, confusion, pain. But one face, in particular, stood out: Judas. His eyes look lost, distant, heavy with guilt, and that, more than anything else, tells us where Season 6 is headed. The teasers don't shout, they whisper. They don't reveal, they remind. They tell us that everything we've seen so far was only leading here, to the moment when faith will be tested, love will be betrayed, and the world will change forever. And that's why fans are watching these clips not once, but over and over, searching for hope in the shadows and answers in the silence. The question that echoes across every fan group, every forum, every comment section is simple. When? When will we finally see Season 6 of The Chosen? When will the story continue and the silence end? For months, fans have been piecing together clues like detectives. From behind-the-scenes posts to quiet confirmations from the crew, the picture is slowly becoming clear. Filming wrapped earlier this year, after what many cast members described as the hardest shoot yet. The editing process, according to insiders, began immediately. Long nights of sound design, visual grading, and music scoring. Every frame is being polished with care because this season isn't just another chapter. It's a turning point. Now here's where things get interesting. Dallas Jenkins, the show's creator, hinted during a live stream that the Chosen team aims to release Season 6 sooner than fans expect. He didn't say a date, but his smile said more than words. If production timelines stay true to previous seasons, Season 6 could premiere between late 2025 and early 2026, likely through the Angel Studios app, with episodes dropping one by one just as before. Some fans even speculate that the world premiere might happen in theaters, repeating the powerful cinematic releases that The Chosen has done before. But why the delay? Because this isn't just another story arc. This is sacred ground. Every scene deals with moments that millions hold dear. The creators want to get it right. The lighting, the pacing, the emotion, the silence between words. And while the exact release date hasn't been stamped in stone, the signs are all there. Crew members posting wrapped photos, sound editors hinting final mix soon. Even the composer, Matthew S. Nelson, teasing that the most emotional score of The Chosen yet is nearly complete. Fans around the world are already preparing. Watch parties are being planned. Churches and communities are organizing viewing nights. Some have even started countdown clocks online. Not for the official date, but for the moment, because The Chosen doesn't just release episodes, it releases emotion. Each premiere feels like a reunion, with characters who now feel like family. And that's why, even without an official date, the excitement doesn't fade. It grows louder with each passing week, so, while the creators hold the date close, one thing is certain. Season 6 is not far. The wait will soon be over, and when that first episode drops, the world will stop for a moment. Screens will glow, hearts will race, and we'll all take a deep breath before witnessing what might be the most powerful season yet. Until then, the countdown continues. Not to a number, but to a promise that light will rise again. When The Chosen returns. Every great story begins with a spark. But The Chosen was born from something deeper. It began with a prayer, a small team, and a dream to show Jesus not as a statue, but as someone who feels. And at the center of that dream stands one man, Dallas Jenkins. Dallas has always said he doesn't see himself as a filmmaker telling a story. He sees himself as a witness serving one. That mindset changes everything. Every script, every line, every close-up is handled with care. Not to entertain, but to move souls. As Season 6 took shape, Dallas confessed in interviews that it's been the heaviest season to write. He talked about nights spent staring at the script, wondering if the team could carry the emotional weight of what comes next. "We're approaching sacred ground," he said quietly, "and that means we can't rush it. We have to feel it first, before we ask the audience to feel it." Those words reflect the heart of this project. The cast and crew aren't just performing, they're living the story. Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus, shared that this season demanded a level of emotional depth he had never experienced before. Some scenes left the set in silence, not because anyone told them to pause, but because no one could speak. Others in the crew mentioned how faith became their guide. Between takes, some prayed together. Others cried quietly after filming certain moments. One crew member described it as a season that broke us, but in the best way. Even the technical team feels it. The cinematographers talk about how the light in certain scenes felt almost symbolic, how the way the sun set or the clouds moved seemed to mirror the emotions being filmed. "It was as if the story itself was shaping the world around us," one of them said. Dallas Jenkins has also revealed that Season 6 isn't just meant to show tragedy. It's meant to remind us why that tragedy had to happen. "We know what's coming," he said, "but we still need to feel the love that made it possible." He's also hinted that the team views this as more than television. Every choice, from camera angle to color tone, is designed to bring audiences closer to the humanity of Jesus and the reality of his followers. "This isn't about showing perfection," Dallas said. "It's about showing people who doubted, failed, feared, and still chose love." Those words captured the soul of The Chosen. It's not a show about saints. It's a show about people who became saints through their weakness. So when you watch Season 6, every tear, every pause, every moment of silence on screen, remember, it wasn't just acted. It was lived, and maybe that's why The Chosen feels so real. Because behind every frame is a heartbeat. Behind every shot, a prayer. And behind every scene, a group of people trying to tell the greatest story ever told, as honestly as they can. Every great story doesn't just live on screen. It lives in the hearts of those who watch it. And The Chosen has done something that few shows ever could. It didn't just build a fan base, it built a family. From crowded living rooms to quiet midnight viewings, from families gathered around phones to churches projecting it on walls. The story of Jesus through The Chosen has become a shared heartbeat across the world. People don't just watch it, they feel it. They see themselves in the brokenness of Peter, in the doubts of Thomas, in the courage of Mary. And that's why Season 6 means so much more than just another chapter. It's personal. As leaks spread and teasers stir emotions, the community grows louder. Social media fills with theories, artwork, and prayers. Fans from different countries, languages, and walks of life all saying the same thing. We're ready. They're not just waiting for a new episode. They're waiting for the continuation of a story that has changed how they see faith, pain, and forgiveness. Dallas Jenkins once said that The Chosen doesn't belong to him anymore. It belongs to everyone who's been touched by it. And you can feel that truth everywhere. When fans donate, share, and stream, they're not just supporting a show, they're spreading a message. And as Season 6 approaches, that message feels stronger than ever. Because this is the season where everything changes, where the light begins to fade, where hearts will break, and where hope will be tested. But even in that darkness, there's a promise. The same one that carried the disciples through fear and silence. A promise that the story isn't over. A promise that love wins. A promise that even in the darkest night, the dawn is waiting. So as we count down to the chosen Season 6, remember this. Every frame, every tear, every heartbeat of this story was made for a reason. To remind us that the message of love and sacrifice is still alive today. When that first episode drops, it won't just be another release. It'll be a moment of unity. Millions of people across thousands of places, breathing in the same story, together. And when the final scene fades to black, one truth will remain. This was never just a show. It was a calling.